Live.
Don't
What?
panic.
We're live. Welcome everyone to the John Lavenia Success Mastermind. I am John Lavenia. This is our mastermind group. It is Fun Friday, 23 April 2021. We do have characters here with us today, including and especially Adrian Garner, who was just debating with me about whether or not England is known for good food. And I think not. He thinks so. That's okay. Neither of us are in England right now, so we could both. But we do have other people in England right here. What do you guys think? We are going to have. Why don't we start with? Do we have any British jokes? It is Fun Friday. We could use a joke right now, especially after how this whole conversation started with who can travel and who can't. And oh, I'm in India. That's how this conversation started, right? Oh, we're stuck in India. Oh, okay. Well, at least the food's good. Unlike we're trying to get back to England. Welcome. Who's got some? Who's got something to kick us off on a Fun Friday? Something lighthearted. Nothing about pandemics, or unless it's a pandemic joke, I suppose we could do that too. Nothing heavy. Something light. Who wants to come on out here and tell us something fun? Something fun. Or if you got a dog or a cat running around, I'd love to see them.
Okay, John, I got one.
Come on, brother Mark.
Which condiment gives the most kick?
I don't know.
Horseradish.
Oh, there you go. Horseradish. I think I'd heard that one before. I think my
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, sir. Hey, you know what? I also want to thank you for your service yesterday. Let me acknowledge a couple of people. 4:00 this morning, my time, we had Ego Obi hosting our practical entrepreneurial tips. Thank you, Ego, for that. Last night, if you missed it, we did have Mark with Global and Tactical Marketing talking about the Internet of Things, which is an interesting idea. Is that, here we are as people using the internet. Well, guess what? There's things using the internet too, right? So there's that interesting discussion on that and that global trend. We did have gentle yoga and relaxation. All this happened just in the less than 24 hours. And that was, of course, with our resident yoga master, Nancy Burtonshaw. Of course, if you're just seeing this on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're seeing this public broadcast, you can get access to all of this by becoming a member. You can go to jlsuccessmastermind.com, grab a free 2-week trial, and see if this is a fit for you and see if you're a fit for us. And you can have access to everything. And it is a beautiful cornucopia, to use Adrian Garner's words, a cornucopia of delicacies here upon you in the JL Success Mastermind. Anybody else want to come out with a joke? Something else that we could start our Fun Friday correctly. I say start, but it's already 5:00 in the afternoon for our friends in England, and it's already tomorrow for our friends in Australia. Anybody else got something else you want to come out with? Thank you, Mark, for that joke. Usually we can count on Dave or Gail for a joke. Let's see if they're here. Oh, Cyril, please.
Hi, hi guys. I've got a silly joke. Yesterday I saw a guy spill all his Scrabble letters on the road. I asked him what the word was on the street.
I hadn't heard that one before. That's great.
I've got another one for you.
It's a little,
knock.
Oh yeah, who's there?
Control freak.
Control freak who?
Okay, now you say control freak who?
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Sorry, don't worry. It's a silly joke off the net.
Thank you, sir.
My apologies for that.
No, that's all good. Hey, a dancing joke would be good.
I'll have to delve into that.
Yeah,
so, give me a few minutes. I'll see if I can find.
Figure that one out. I often have told people that in my hierarchy of communication, there's like personal, conversation, and there's things like, Zoom and Skype and things we can do to discuss things one-on-one. And then down, below that, there's like, chat, text. And then down below that, there's things like, carrier pigeon and, smoke signals, and then like interpretive dance. And then down below that, there's email. So, and I say that obviously jokingly, we do a lot of email, but people want to get my attention. Email is not the prime way to do it. You would definitely get my attention with interpretive dance though, Cyril, just in case you are so inclined. In fact, you'd get everyone's attention with that. I think we need more interpretive dance on this planet. What do you guys think? Maybe that'll be our our weekend project. All right. So let's
Okay, I
get
got a dance. I got a dance joke.
Oh, please.
It's a really short one. What's the best dance to pair with chips? Salsa.
Salsa. Oh, yeah. I was thinking salsa. That's great. Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
All right. We're going to wrap up jokes unless somebody else has something else that comes to mind. Feel free to jump right in. Guess what happened to me today? I say happened to me, but I did it to myself. Here's what happened. I was in the gym. Oh, a shocker. I know. I was in the gym. And I decided, because I've been a little bit lax in my studies lately, I've been dealing with logistics and stuff. Actually, you know what, Adrian, you corrected me. I always say logistics is like any operational kind of stuff. You're like, actually, logistics is the moving of things from this place to that place. And I'm like, okay. So maybe I should call it operations. So I was dealing with operations mostly this week. And so I hadn't read as much as I would normally read. I've often talked about, we want to get into the habit of doing these things, these high integrity, high production kind of things that, are going to move us forward in business and in life, right? And right now we're concluding the Power of Consistency by Weldon Long. So those of you here in our group, we're going to get together on Monday night and then again on Wednesday for Books for Britain. And we're going to review these final chapters, chapter 7 through the end. And this whole book is about consistency, right? It's about doing these things and forming the habits that are going to propel us forward, almost, I wouldn't say effortlessly, but compel us forward towards the goals that we've decided for ourselves in our life. And yet, so often, here I am, encumbered with the busyness of things, and I'm doing life, and I'm a father, I'm a husband, I got all these different roles that I perform throughout my day, and it's easy to get off track if I haven't already formed a habit of doing these things. Now, going to the gym is one thing I have formed a habit of doing. Okay, so that's something that's kind of locked in, and my body screams for exercise. First thing, or actually second thing in the morning. So after my quiet time, make sure there's coffee in the pot, right? Get the dog out so he can pee and all that. And then it's what? Exercise the body. I'll typically take some protein and vegetable juice, right? But then it's time. And I'm in a cycle with that. And it's a daily cycle. So I don't have to think about it so much. But somehow I don't have like a set time for other high integrity things. Yes, other productive things, or let me say this, things that are high leverage. In other words, they're not instantaneous, like income producing activity kind of things. They are things that will bear fruit in the long term. And they have, right? I've seen the accumulation and the dividends that are paid by doing things like daily study, right? And yet, as easy it is to do these things, it's even easier to not do them and get distracted with other things that are more expedient. Yes, more expedient. It's on my calendar right now that I host this session that we're doing here, and that's a known thing, and it's time bound. It's an event that's on my calendar. There's no question about it. And damn it, if it's on my calendar, I'm showing up and I'm doing it. I am Mr. Friggin' Reliable. But I'll tell you what, if it's not on my calendar, well, does it even exist? Great question. So I decided in the gym today, you know what, rather than listening to extreme metal, which is usually what I do when I'm in the gym, because I like that stuff. It's actually the first love of my life. I had a conversation with our friend Ingrid about that the other day. She's doing the violin thing. And yet she doesn't listen to classical music like in her free time, right? So it's her profession, and she's really freaking good. If anybody's ever heard Ingrid play the violin, oh my goodness. Well, she's been doing it for 35 years. She's had a little time to prepare, but the idea that I'm going to do something different while in the gym. What's the other thing that I do? If I'm not listening to music, what am I listening to? Audiobooks. You got it right. And in this case, I had a dissertation. It wasn't an audiobook per se, but it was a dissertation on a previous book that we read, Science of Getting Rich. I was like, oh man, let me listen in just a little bit of this. And I was like somewhere midway in the lecture, right? So I wasn't, I didn't know where I was going to end up. It had been at least a couple of weeks since I ended off on wherever I was at in this lecture. Okay. So I just hit the play button on the thing, right? It's in my phone. I hit the play button And next thing you know, I'm in the chapter on efficient action. Oh, listen to this, guys. Listen to this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So these are the reminders, right? So if we're not consistent, then we need reminders all the time. Like I don't need reminders on my going to the gym, right? That could or could not be on my calendar. Actually, I think it is, but I don't look at it. I just go, okay? Because I'm completely in the habit of doing that. Here is where I can use work, okay? Because I'm not living this stuff every single day, all day, every day. I'm in the busyness of things. Check this out, my friends. Here's the message that I got today while pumping iron. It is really not the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Aha. Okay, so overwhelm is a reality for a lot of people. Yeah, we're busy. I got a million things to do. Holy shit, look at my calendar, right? All this. Okay, so here, Wiles is saying you're not to overwork, nor rush blindly, blah, 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 right? It's really not the number of things you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Each separate action. So that means that I hit the reset button and I make a decision each time that I'm about to take another action, a separate action. Now, how do we make it efficient? Okay, it says here, every act is in itself either a success or failure. Every act is in itself either effective or inefficient. Every inefficient act is a failure. And if you spend your life doing inefficient acts, your whole life will be a failure. The more things you do, the worse for you, if all your acts are inefficient ones. On the other hand, every efficient act is a success in itself. And if every act of your life is an efficient one, your whole life must be a success. How do we make it efficient? I know we did this in our book study group with guests and the public and everything, and we're gonna resurrect that thing and make that like an evergreen kind of an experience for people, because the results people are getting from that are spectacular if we remember to do it. If we remember, right? If it's not already a habit, I need reminders. Okay, so how do we make things? Does anyone remember? How do we make something an efficient act? If this would guarantee our success, and it would also guarantee our failure if we keep doing the wrong things, the inefficient things, worse for me, right? I guarantee my own failure. So how do we make sure it's an efficient action? It says here, every action is either strong or weak, and when every one is strong, you are acting in the certain way which will make you rich. Every act can be made strong and efficient by holding your vision while you are doing it and putting the whole power of your faith and purpose into it. That's how you make it an efficient action. I showed up in the gym with a purpose. The purpose was to get big and strong, okay? And I had faith, and do have faith, that if I do these known good actions, right? The lifting of the weight and thereby the frustrating of the muscle and, all the physics part of that, right? And the physiology, right? If I do that, I have faith that I will have gains, increased performance, increased strength and endurance and whatever, right? So I've got a purpose and I've got faith. And so this separate action of me showing up and moving metal, right? That is an efficient action. And behold, success, right? I'm in good shape. I'm not amazingly in good shape, right? I had pasta last night. I thought about my friend Jamie Young while I was putting it in my face. I was at Vito's and they had the rigatoni with the half Alfredo, half marinara sauce, the pink sauce and the oregano. Oh man, it was good. And I was thinking about Jamie, who's doing grain-free and sugar-free, right? And he's like dropped 15 pounds or something and he's like kicking ass. And I'm thinking, yeah, Jamie, this rigatoni right here. Okay. Well, it's not like I'm shoving that stuff in my face every single day. But was it moving me in the direction of getting a 6-pack? No, I got a 4-pack right now. Okay. So here's the point. That was a separate act and it was counter to, let's say, the purpose of having a 6-pack, for example, which I'm not desperate to have, but Ask anybody, given the choice, would you rather have or not have? You would have. Okay, fine. So then do something about it. So I've got purposes that I'm fulfilling here. I've also got another purpose to go enjoy, a dinner out with my family from time to time, because we work our asses off, and I wanted to have some family time. My wife didn't feel like cooking because she's busy too, right? And I was like, hey, let's go to Vito's. Fan-friggin-tastic. So is it about complete rigid, like I'm going to go be a monk now and or something like that? No. So we get to have flexibility and diversions too. But more often than not, remember, we're talking about the ratio of efficient versus non-efficient actions, right? So in this case, my faith and purpose was put into this thing that we can look at and say, with no doubt about it. Remember, the certain way is the way of no doubt, the way of certainty. I am certain that if I consistently show up and touch metal and do the thing, that there will be the fulfillment or the greater realization of the purpose of being physically fit, big and strong, yada, yada, right? I have no doubt about that, faith, right? And I am demonstrating purposefulness when I go there and I do wholeheartedly what I intend to do, right? It's not a half measure or anything like that. Excuse me, here I am. There's all the equipment you could possibly want. You've got all the luxuries, like air, gravity. There's even a water fountain over there. Do it, friggin' do it. Okay. And I did it. So it was on purpose. It was efficient action. How do I do that in my business? And I'm going to give you a metaphor here. Actually, not a metaphor. I'm going to give you an anecdote, I suppose. Have I ever told you the story that I'm about to tell you? I have? Okay, so I won't tell you. I have told you this one. It was months and months ago. So I've got this friend who was relating a tale from his childhood of when he was a young boy. I don't know, probably 14, 15 years old. That's a teenager, right? So let's say he's a teenager and he's helping in the garage with changing a tire. Okay. And so he's got the tire iron, he's got the wrench on the lug nut, and he's putting effort into it to try and break it loose, right? He's torquing on the lug nut. And it's not breaking loose. So he tries going the other way. Well, maybe I'm going the wrong way, right? So he tries going the other way and he's putting his effort into it and it's not breaking loose. And in his frustration, he finally goes inside and sees his uncle and says, hey, I'm not sure. I can't break these lug nuts loose. I'm not sure which way am I supposed to go. And the uncle said to him, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So right, in other words, clockwise, would be tighter, and left, counterclockwise, would be looser. He goes back out, gets the same wrench on the same wheel and the same lug nut, turns that thing left, breaks it loose like that. Physically, nothing had changed. Internally, faith and purpose, right? Faith was induced. He already had the purpose. The purpose was to loosen the lug nut, right? But he didn't have the faith until the authority, in this case, an outsider, right? Someone who knows more than him. He sought counsel, right? He got mentoring, and the counselor said, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. He gave him a truth of life. By the way, on some trucks, that's not the truth. There is such a thing as left-handed threads. But in the case of an automobile, right, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on almost every fastener that you'll find on a car. Okay, so now he combined his purpose with faith that if I go left on this thing, I'm going to break this loose. He didn't grow extra muscles in the time that he walked inside and asked his uncle, right? Nothing changed except his faith that he could fulfill the purpose. And so now that became an efficient action. Notice how much time, and I wasn't there to witness this, but picture in your mind, how much time is this boy spending in half measures, in tentative efforts, right? Maybe I'll try it this way. I'll try. That's whenever you hear somebody say, I'll try. Oh my goodness. Really? You'll try? Does that sound like an efficient, is that a statement of efficient action? I'll try. Think about it for yourself. Anything you're doing in your business right now that you're trying, right? And you hope it works out. You'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Right? Does that sound efficient to you? Remember what Waddle said, if every action you do is an efficient one, then you have to succeed. You have to. And if every action you do is inefficient, then worse for you. Worse for you. You're going in the wrong direction. So I think this whole idea, this whole anecdote of tightening or loosening a lug nut, we spent a lot of time and we didn't get the product. We didn't get production. We didn't loosen the lug nut, right? And then we spent very little time, and with definiteness and efficiency and purpose and faith, results. So what do we have to do then? Back to the whole idea of this whole thing. What do I have to do? Me. Okay, this is for me. You guys get to listen in. John, here's what you have to do. You have to look at each separate action with purpose and faith. In other words, let's say, for example, you've got an action in your business of promotion. Okay, so I'm going to create a promotional piece, a video, copywriting, right? Advertisement, something, right? And so the question then is, what is the purpose of this piece? In other words, what do I want the viewer, the recipient of this material, whatever I'm creating here, what do I want them to do? So I may have that same consideration. Let's say, for example, if I'm putting out a little video, and like right now we've got this CEO Freedom Challenge coming up next week. It's going to be huge, right? I'm going to put out promo on that, right? What's the purpose of the promo? To cause people to click and register for the challenge experience, which is going to be spectacular, by the way. So Shannon and I are both doing this right now. For any men on here who are wondering, is this going to be just for ladies again? Because last time Shannon released this, it was just like for female entrepreneurs. No, it is open to all earthlings, okay? And if you're a Martian listening to this right now, I think you can get something out of it too. But if you're on planet Earth, man, get in on this, and it's free. So what's the purpose of the promotional piece? To cause someone to register, click the button, put your email, right? Join the Facebook group. So I know before I start taking the action, what is the purpose of that action? To cause this, the recipients of this to take some sort of action on their part. Okay, great. And do I have faith that it will work, or am I just trying? Okay, so that's interesting, because we're talking about communication skills, right? We're talking about what do you write in the promo? What do you say? In fact, how do you say it in the video that you're recording, talking about your product or your offer or whatever it happens to be, this business action, which you must do if you intend to be successful in business. Who's showing up to do it? The person of faith, the person with full certainty, knows that here's the recipient is going to take the action and they are going to benefit from that. I am going to impress them with an increase. Or the person who's trying, the person who's friggin' trying. Is that the person showing up to record the video and write the copy? Oh, please. So you see the same action, same exact action, right? Make the promo piece, right? That's the action that I'm just inventing right now. Okay. Which is a real one for me. Okay. It may or may not be real for you, but I tell you, any business, you got to have promotion, right? Otherwise you got a hobby and you get to sit there and, I guess look at your product or something. But so let's say this is the action and this is the purpose of the action. Here's the end result. Here's the product of having taken that action. Okay. Is that people have registered for the thing. Okay. Or they bought the product or whatever it is. And with the certainty and faith that it will bear fruit. Right. So I'm not trying, I'm not forcing, I'm not hoping even. No. Now, does that mean that every shot you take is like a home run? No, but it also means, because we're talking about efficiency now, it also means that you don't sit here in a state of indecision wondering, oh, is this one going to be good enough? No, make 100 of them. Fine. Make 100 of them and do it in the certain way. And then some of it's going to work and some of it won't. And then you optimize the good stuff and you kill the bad stuff. And that's it, right? So the point is to go to market, right? Publish, do it, right? Efficiently, perfectly. No, what the hell is that? What is that? So I think so often we justify indecision or procrastination. They're virtually the same thing. We justify that with the idea that we're perfectionists or somehow we need to be perfect or we're not good enough or whatever. Again, does that sound efficient? Does that sound certain? Does that sound like faith to you? Does that sound like the fulfillment of purpose? No, it's introversion. It's sitting there wondering, and then maybe trying. If you can muster up the courage to try. Oh my goodness. Read the book, go back through the lessons that we covered, and it's all, by the way, if you're a member here with the Mastermind group, as everyone who's with me live on Zoom is right now, then you've got access to all the recordings. I even created a workbook and you can go through it. But look, if we just look at each separate action that we choose to do today as either efficient or not, based on our power of purpose and faith, right? Just focusing on those two things, purpose and faith, we may make some very different decisions. In fact, we may find that we're not so damn overwhelmed because we're so efficient now that we're not sitting here and belaboring the decision, should I, shouldn't I? That's how we kill time. Indecision. Yeah, time killer right there. I don't know if this is making any sense, but this hit me like so hard today. I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's why I listen to, that's why I commingle, let's say. That's why I commingle music and lectures, audiobooks, and what have you, while doing something that I already know is an efficient action, right? Something that I don't have to think about, right? Like lifting weights, right? You just go there and you could be an animal and do that. That's fine. Let's put the mind to work while we do these other things, because I need reminders, guys. I need reminders in areas of my life where I haven't demonstrated the consistency, like Weldon Long is talking about in the book that we're reading now, which is The Power of Consistency, right? So if I'm not demonstrating consistency, it's because I'm forgetting to. Easy to do, easy to forget. What do you guys think about this? I should probably stop talking now. We're coming to the bottom of the hour. And now it is your turn to talk. Please commence talking. We'll take some hands. We'll take some ideas. Oh, by the way, welcome to our new members. Got some new members in the house. Welcome to you. Somebody come out here and take the floor. Who is next? I see Nicola. Hi, Nicola.
Hello.
Hey, no personal insult intended on the, British food sucks. You're Irish anyway, right? So you get a free pass.
Yeah, you've just got me thinking about that power of consistency. So I set myself a little challenge a couple of weeks back to, as part of the hypnotherapy training I'm doing, there was quite a lot I need to do, like pre-work before the accreditation in May. So I decided I was going to start getting up half an hour early every morning before I do anything else. Well, apart from the kind of morning routine meditation. But before I start work, I'd do at least half an hour of hypnotherapy training. And I'm just sitting here reflecting now. It's probably only about 3 weeks, but it's now become a habit, pretty much like you described going to the gym. And I don't have to think about it. It's literally, as soon as I open my eyes, I actually look forward to going to do it. And I've achieved more than I ever thought I would. I've pretty much finished the online course in the space of 3 weeks because I absolutely love it. So the motivation's there. There's a purpose. I knew why I had to do it. And I've just been really surprised at how quickly you can form a habit if you've got the right like mindset towards it. It's probably similar to you going to the gym. Like, you enjoy it, you love it, you're motivated, you want to do it. So forming a habit when you've got all that stuff in the right place happens really fast, is what I've found with this. And one of the things you just touched on there is I'm kind of rewarding myself just in my mind for the consistency, for progress every day. I'm giving myself a little kind of pat on the back as my own coach for showing up and doing it every day. So it keeps that motivation going to want to continue to do it. It's like a feel-good factor. So I'm sitting here now thinking, what if I can do it that easily in that area, where else in like my business can I apply that same thinking, that same logic? And one of the things I do, but I definitely I'm not in a routine, I don't do it consistently, is social media marketing. So I'm going to set myself a little challenge, I think, to see if I can apply the same logic and show up as consistently every day with the same mindset and see what I can achieve with that.
Right.
So,
Okay. Hey, let me offer you one bit of insight though, because it's an assumption from some people, and that is that I like going to the gym. No, no, I like the result of it, right? I see the, perhaps look at the picture in the fitness magazine, right? There's the physically fit, there's the result, right? So I like that. I also like having acknowledged and being able to acknowledge at the end of the day my high integrity actions. So that's the reward. I'm happiest when I'm in high integrity action. Does that mean I like going and putting my body in pain? No, no. But I get there before I could talk myself out of it. What did Albert Gray said? He said successful people have formed the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. I don't like doing them either. I just do them. So if people think, and this is interesting, you're going to be getting into, counseling with people and talking about their, achievements and their intentions in their life. And for anyone who doesn't know, Nicola runs our group meditation session that we do on Tuesdays, right? Where you sit there and, think good thoughts and get quiet and consider where you're going. And she's very nice and she's very soothing at that. Plus she's got that great accent. But the idea there is that we're not forcing ourselves. We're not forcing ourselves when we get in the flow with seeing the fruit on the tree. Like here's where I'm going. It doesn't feel like so laborious for me to overcome my own inertia. I just overcome that inertia because I keep seeing the benefit, right? So it's all based on that. And that's every person who's ever succeeded at everything. They formed the habit of doing things that they weren't naturally liking to do, but now we don't have to think about them so much because we just do them anyway. And so congratulations on getting through your course, right? How many people who start that course even completed? I don't know if you've got, a percentage on that or whatever, but I can tell you that most things in life, there's the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the people do 80% of the production, right? And then there's the 20% of the 20% who really excel, right? So that's 4%, right? So interesting stuff, Nicola. So glad you're here with our group, and you bring such a good energy to all this. So let me just acknowledge you, my friend. Yeah, glad you're here. Adrian, is that Adrian Jackson? Is Adrian Jackson going to speak? Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Adrian, where are you, brother?
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Oh man, it's just good to hear your voice. I can't hear your voice and not smile. Look at my smile.
I love your topic on consistency, John. It is very important, and it is very important consistency, because you will have ups and downs. And for example, this year my sales has plummeted, and I just keep on thinking it's a time of the year. I want to achieve this. I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm just continue reading my book, continue going over what I want, and having that mindset where you think the day's not going properly. You can't think like that, because if you continue thinking like that, it will go like that. So as an example, I was really happy today because I've swapped things around. I've swapped my focus around and all that, and I've just looked at me yearly progress this year, and since I've been doing that, I've actually got me third highest grossing of my whole Amazon over last 12 months, and that's because of consistency. And it's not even the end of the month, and I look at it and thought, you have to be consistent. You can't be down on when you have a bad month. You have to look at the goal at the end of it. And I think now that I've swapped my pictures around, I think I've got really good now. Just keep swapping and changing things. Change your list, change your picture. It will work out, and that's what I've done. And I've got my third highest grossing over the last 10 months now, which I'm really happy. And that's because of consistency. That is because what I want is what I'm going to get. And it's a win-win. Like, I'm 156% up on last month now. And I'm on the verge of looking at my third product ready to go on Amazon. So please, ladies and gentlemen, keep on what you're doing. if you continue, as Adrian said over and over again, 1% of every day turns out to 100% in 10 years' time, and you will get there. Just bear with it. And please bear with it. You will have bad days, you will have good days, but it will work out in the end. And I've not been in here for a while. I want to try to go on a bit more now because I've missed you all, and I love seeing you all and hearing your opinions. And I'm going to start going on a bit more. And as all I can say is keep on with it, bear with it. You will have good days, you will have bad days, but don't give up. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Adrian. So glad you're here. Our door is always open for you, brother. So another bright light in this community. Man, let's keep it going. Who else has something good to share with us on this fun Friday? We had Nicola, we got Adrian Jackson, and who is going to be next? Come on out. We are having our final. Oh, by the way, while you're raising your hands and such, I will give you housekeeping. We do have our hospitality suite, which is always open whenever we're not in session. We do not have Integrative Health today. Therese is traveling. She's going to be live with us next week on the 30th, but no Integrative Health today. And of course, we do have at 6 p.m. Eastern US time, Be Heard. Especially great for any of our newer members who may feel like, oh, I don't know if I want to come out on this big forum and we're broadcasting live and oh my goodness, Be Heard, no recordings, small crowd, say whatever you want. You talk, I listen. Speaking of listening, I'd like to listen to whoever's next. So come on out, raise your hand, unmute your mic, do something, or we're going to go ahead and wrap up right now. We're going to keep this efficient. How's that sound? Efficient, by the way, doesn't mean that you spend little time on it, okay? But efficient means that you get greater production in less time. So who else has an idea before we close out for today? Anybody else? Anybody else? Last call. And we are done. All right. So I am going to see you guys at 6 p.m. Eastern US time. I suggest, if you like, to go into the recorded section in your member site under book study and listen while you can do this while you're doing other stuff, but listen to the workshops that we did on the science of getting rich. Okay. Just listen to that stuff. Because I'll tell you what, it lit me up today. It wasn't, by the way, it wasn't my lecture that I was listening to. It was somebody else's while I was in the gym. But go ahead and listen to what we did in the workshop. That's available for you right now in the members section, in the recorded section of the website. And I think with that, thank you. I'm getting some praise here in the chat. Thank you, guys. I will see you at 6 p.m. Eastern for those of you